this is like a conversation piece. I think there's a difference between homeowners and sort of LLCs and things that exist in an underground way for accountability to DPI. And I just wanted to point out or ask you when it comes to how the agency is going to be dealing with when someone doesn't get their license to rent out their house. Or, for example, something I'm trying to figure out is why our apartment buildings, particularly like in Langley Park, not cited for all the code of violations, and you can see them, and it looks crazy. Like, I don't understand. And then it's versus that balance of like the homeowner who's lived here for 30 years, and now you're going hard on me and ticketing me. So I guess I would like some clarity on like what is our strategy, or what are we doing to people that are literally underground in what they're doing totally, and how are we tackling sort of the more LLC and corporate DPI violators?
So I will say this, Councilmember Fisher, and thank you for the question. At our core, DPI, with the numbers that we have, we are complaint driven, as you know that. Multifamily is a little different because they're required to have annual inspections, and we work with them a little closer because at the end of the day, and I'm going to use multifamily as an example, multifamily covers not only condos, but apartments of all sizes, economic means. And one of the hardest things we ever do as a county is, excuse me, when we go in and have to post that apartment or condo uninhabitable. We do it, but we do it with a lot of trepidation because there's not a lot of affordable housing in the county. And if we kick people out of their existing housing because of code violations and other issues, that creates an even more sense of panic, uncertainty. It taxes the Department of Social Services because now, they're required to be there as first responders to find people, especially families with children, a place to stay. So our goal always is compliance. And it's how we get there. And it's, do you pull out the big hammer from the get-go? Do you work with, and condos are particularly difficult because, there is no pot of money other than from the residents. So if we come in and say, we're going to shut down this condo association until you get your elevators repaired, they may not have the $100,000 it takes to repair an elevator. And we really have to balance that. So I'm using multifamily as definitely a much different one we look at. We always coordinate with Office of Law, we coordinate with DSS, and certainly the fire department, because we're really looking for, are these life safety issues or are these aesthetic, more technical code issues? The life safety we have to treat. We have to work with the fire department. We know we've had a number of fires this year in apartments, and that's something that's distressing for all of us, and I don't think we've really gotten to the root cause of it. So we take that very seriously. To your underground businesses, those are very difficult. Again, unless we get a complaint about one and they're really a frequent operator where we can get to them, the underground businesses are very difficult.
Well, I guess I would say with that, and I know you and I talk offline a lot, so I will follow up offline, but like, I could name you just 10 single-family homes in my district that are operating, that need MOUs to operate. They don't have them. I mean, sorry, not MOUs, use and occupancy permits, sorry, to operate, whether they're, like Councilmember Ivy saying, doing car dealership work and everything else. So what is the framework with and I think you need more money, and I'm with you, all of that. What is the framework of investigators to like investigate a house where it's like, I send you a complaint, I'm like, look, they're a car dealership. I drive by this one house, I'm not gonna call it the street right now, every single day, right? And so it's like, how is DPI watching this house the way I'm watching this house to be like, you are operating as an auto body shop out of a single family home. What are we doing?
So that's where it's helpful to have somebody who's willing to testify in court, because
I think every council member up here will go and testify on the cases we see in court. So
and that's where I think it's important to have the open communication. I think the idea of the liaison's office, and certainly, look, do our inspectors have the time and energy that a homeowner has to look at an individual property? No. All you have to do is look at the volume of calls that they're assigned on a daily basis, you know, the number of inspections that we do a year. So that's where I think to us it's helpful also if there is a sense of which are the ones that are most egregious to the community. Let us focus on those. You know, the way I've always kind of done it is let's look at our first top 10. When we resolve those top 10 or we can't resolve those top 10 and we tell you why, then let's move on to the next top 10 and we keep working down our list until we get either a satisfactory result or we explain to you why we can't.
And then